In 2004, Congress established 3 Southwest Ecological Restoration Institutes to promote and develop restoration practices for dry, fire-prone forests and woodlands. One of these 3 institutes was created at NMHU in Las Vegas. This hybrid institution, which will serve both government and academic beneficiaries, is called the New Mexico Forest and Watershed Restoration Institute, or NMFWRI. This is the only institute with watershed restoration in its title, charter, and mission because of a close linkage between forest health and watershed conditions as described in the New Mexico Forest and Watershed Health Plan. The institutes are a response to the growing threat to our forests as well as in our communities. Catastrophic wildfire. Within the last decade, an increasing number of devastating forest fires have compelled the establishment of the National Fire Plan and the Healthy Forest Restoration Act in order to stem the catastrophic destruction of forests, watersheds, and soils. Wildfires like the Hondo, Viviache, and Cerro Grande fires collectively destroyed homes and property, caused catastrophic soil loss, and harmed municipal water supplies. The Cerro Grande fire also threatened Los Alamos National Laboratory. The mission of the NMFWRI is to promote, develop, conduct research on, and monitor practices that reduce the likelihood of catastrophic wildfires by thinning the forests of hazardous fuels such as dead and small diameter trees and underbrush. Public and private partnerships throughout New Mexico are developing community-based forestry projects to create defensible spaces around homes, plans for community, wildfire management, improved watershed condition, and biodiversity. Forests, with a diversity of grasses, shrubs, trees of suitable age groups, and openings, promote soil and water retention and decreased evaporation in watersheds. The economic and social effects of restoration are critical for monitoring the overall success of forest and watershed restoration. Drought conditions throughout New Mexico have led Governor Richardson to declare the 2007 New Mexico legislative session the Year of Water. By improving watershed conditions, quality water can be stored longer, sustaining local streams. Most New Mexican water users are dependent on the condition of their local watershed to supply drinking water, irrigate their fields, and recharge wells and aquifers. The NMFWRI will develop training for working natural resource managers as well as creating a new generation of restoration professionals for New Mexico college students. Partnerships, such as the one between the NMFWRI and the Forest Guild, have helped significantly reduce forestry insurance costs by compiling and providing data to lawmakers that resulted in the reduction of workmen's compensation rates. This is necessary to keep New Mexico forestry contractors competitive while they face the challenge of large-scale work. Activities such as these should pay dividends by providing economic development in many rural and traditional communities in New Mexico. NMFWRI students will have opportunities to make direct contributions to New Mexico communities while learning through experience and applying their curriculums. As the number of dangerous and damaging wildfires increase, Congress and the President have raised the condition of western watersheds and their wildfire threats to a level of national priority and policy. The Institute requires the cooperation and support of federal, state, and local agencies. NMFWRI needs continued and recurring funds from the federal government along with an investment by New Mexico. Mostly, the Institute needs the energy and imagination of students, scientists, managers, and restoration workers. With increased participation and support, students, water users, communities at risk of wildfire and drought, and the state of New Mexico, along with Congress and federal land and water managers, all become beneficiaries of the Institute's mission. In order to succeed in reaching the goals of the Institute, lawmakers and private interests can contribute by encouraging recurring appropriations for NMFWRI to provide these important services. NMFWRI provides communities at risk of wildfire and drought, local governments, farmers, ranchers, conservationists, and industry stakeholders with access to independent and credible science to support forestry and watershed projects with proven practices, technical expertise, and monitoring resources. The Institute will also assist federal and state natural resource managers with project support by equipping them with important information for their project planning and NEPA procedures. The Institute will become a nationally recognized collaborative center through affiliations with other organizations. NMFWRI respects and utilizes indigenous and local knowledge to effectively restore ecosystems and develop rural economies. New Mexico students will have opportunities to learn through practical experience while contributing to New Mexico communities at risk of wildfire and drought. Although the investment must be consistent, the vision and potential are limitless.
This is Governor Bill Richardson. Wildfire and drought are a constant threat in New Mexico. That is why we all must work together and why communities need access to the best science, technology, and management practices available to reduce fuel loads, fire threats, and preserve our precious water resources. The New Mexico Forest and Watershed Restoration Institute is designed to develop these tools for communities across the state. This institute will give New Mexicans a place to study at a premier forestry school while addressing fire threats in our backyards, pastures, and bosques. I see the New Mexico FWRI becoming one of America's leading watershed institutes and a key part of moving New Mexico forward.
Please contact NMFWRI or their partners for more information.